Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be installing a BAK Revolver 4KS on my 2022 Ford Lightning. I'm really excited. I think it's going to be super useful, so let's get started. So I actually already installed the bed rug in a previous video. You can go back and watch that if you're curious on how I installed this bed rug. But here's my box for the BAK Revolver 4KS. I'm gonna open it up and get started. Well, this is my very first time installing any kind of bed cover, any tonneau cover, and I didn't really want to mess up. I was getting tripod set up and get everything ready. Before I began, I just Googled it to see what other people have done. Maybe there are any tips or tricks or anything. And I came across the Real Truck installation video, and holy cow, it just seems perfect. I really don't think there's anything better I could possibly do, and it didn't have a whole lot of views, so I'm going to play that video now. So thank you, Real Truck, for uploading that video, because wow, it's perfect. But before I play that video, I thought I would talk about why I chose the Revolver. I did a stupid amount of research and pros and cons of this versus a cap. And I just thought, for me, I plan on moving some stone, dirt, and obviously that would make a hard shell tonneau cover or a cap difficult to use because you'd always have to remove that if you're gonna move anything big. I think they look really great, but for my needs, I just think a roll-up tonneau cover would be much nicer. If I have an appliance that goes bad, I don't have to worry about trying to get the cap off and screwing around with that. I could just roll it up and just put the refrigerator or stove or whatever it is right in the back. Appliances never fail at the opportune time, so the last thing I wanted to do was screw around with trying to remove a cap or something. It was a tough decision though, because I do want to do some camping with it, and I think a camper shell would have been pretty cool for camping with my son, but this just won out. I think it's going to be the most versatile. I also actually like that it's black. Ford sells the X2, I think it's called. So it's just a previous version. And I looked into that a ton because it's Ford, well, it's branded by Ford, but it's made by Revolver. And I could have gotten that and used some of my points that I got from when I bought the truck. But there are major differences between the X2 and the X4S. And it makes the X4S so much better. I didn't even consider the X2 after watching a couple videos about the differences with those two. There's one video I have in mind. I'll have it linked in the description below so you can see the differences between those two versions. It's raining here in Tennessee today, and I have to move some stuff, so that's why I have to get this thing on here this morning. I'm super excited. I cannot wait to see how it looks. I love the all black. And a special thank you to Real Truck for sending me the hat. I've got the shirt, I love it. And also thank you for letting me share your video. Hopefully that's okay, I didn't ask permission. I did use realtruck.com to order this, so I'll have a link for that in the description below as well. I highly recommend Real Truck. The process was flawless. The box arrived perfect, on time. So far, the whole experience with realtruck.com has been awesome. I can't wait to see what the cover looks like. In the future, I will probably post some review videos just to talk about how I liked it or show how it held up and stuff like that. But that's all from me. So here is the Real Truck installation video. You're gonna love it. It's gonna be great. If you're thinking about buying one of these, their installation video is just perfect.
Hey guys, Todd here. Today we're going to install the Revolver X4s on this 2021 body style F150. For this installation, I'll be using a ratchet with a 9/16 socket, plus a pair of scissors. Well, make sure you're subscribed to our channel to stay up to date with all of our latest content. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, we're gonna start by applying the bulkhead seal to the bulkhead. This is your bulkhead seal in your kit. I've already gone ahead and cut it loose. I've also gone ahead and wiped down this surface with rubbing alcohol. Now, this bulkhead seal needs to go as far back on the bulkhead as possible. So what we're going to do is peel away the tape protector. And then we're going to put that bulkhead seal all the way up against the bed cap and touch the bulkhead with it. Once it's adhered, we can pull away a little bit at a time and then draw it out. All right, once we get to the other side, we're going to go ahead and take a pair of scissors and cut it in place. Then we can stick it all the way up against the opposite bed cap. All right, so I'm going to start by installing the passenger side rail. Everything we do here on the passenger side we'll also be doing on the driver's side. So first of all, we're going to locate the passenger side rail. It's going to have an R on a sticker that stands for right. That's the passenger side. We're going to go ahead and peel that sticker off and discard that. Next, we've got this large aluminum tab with 2 oval holes cut out. That's going to go towards the bulkhead or the cab side. We've also got a little pad on this that's going to touch the bulkhead when we put it in place. So we're going to take and hang the rail on top of the bed cap, and we're going to slide it all the way up to hit where it hits the bulkhead. Now, this truck has a bed rug, so what I'm going to do is peel that bed rug out of the way as I slide the rail forward. That way the rail is behind the bed rug, and it can push all the way up against the bulkhead. Next, we need to go ahead and attach our clamps. All right, now we're going to go ahead and take one of our clamps, loosen that clamp up. That way we can spread it apart. Now you'll notice the grooves on the clamp will mate right into the grooves in the rail. So what we're going to do is raise that up, and once those grooves are married in, we're going to slide it forward, tighten it hand tight first, get everything brought together. Next, we're going to take a 9/16 wrench or ratchet and get it to where it's just starting to bite down. Then we'll make sure it's seated at the top the way we're going to do that. We haven't totally clamped this down yet, so we're going to hit it from the top and seat the rail. Then we can go ahead and finish tightening the clamp. All right, now we're going to go ahead and do our strap clamp. This one we're going to also loosen up and install it the exact same way. Slide it up in place. First, finger tight. I also like to make sure that the strap is coming out the top. And then tighten that down with a 9/16 as well. All right, so the next 2 clamps we're going to install exactly the same way. One we're going to go right in the middle of the bed, one as close to the tailgate as possible. Now repeat the exact same steps on the opposite side. All right, now we're going to go ahead and take our rolled up cover and we're going to set it on the tailgate end on top of the rails. These tabs need to lay down inside the rails. We're going to go ahead and start letting it roll out. As we do that, we also want to make sure that it's pulled back and start rolling the cover toward the bulkhead. This is actually reverse rolled to protect it in transit. All right, once we get to the header panel, we're going to notice we've got 2 tracks that run all the way side to side. In our kit, we've got some bolts. They're going to slide into those tracks. The head of the bolt slides right in. And once we get them slid in, we want to make sure they line up to the oval holes in the metal tab. I've already done this on the opposite side, so once they're lined up, go ahead and rotate it over and drop those bolts down through the oval hole. Okay, now here's where the 2 bolts are coming down through the oval holes. In your kit, you're going to have hardware, rubber washer, flat washer, and then also a knob. On each one of those bolts, you're going to put that together like so. Do not tighten it all the way down yet. You want to get it kind of close because we still need to align this cover, make sure it's nice and lined up before we tighten it down. Do that to all 4 of the bolts coming down out of the bottom of the cover. All right, now we're going to go ahead and roll the cover down to the tailgate. Make sure that our tabs are dropping in place. Keep an eye on them, make sure they're even side to side where the cover is centered. When we get down to the tailgate, We're going to latch it to the tailgate. Again, make sure it's centered side to side. When you pull it up, double check the tabs. Also make sure that the tailgate can close with the cover closed. All right, the cover is nice and aligned. What we're going to do is unlatch the cover and very gently roll it to the bulkhead. Make sure we do not shift anything around, and then we'll lock it down at the front. All right, now that the cover is adjusted, we're going to go ahead and lock it in position. Just tighten the hand screws until they're nice and snug. We don't need to over tighten them, just get them snugged up. Repeat that on the opposite side. All right, now when the cover is rolled up nice and tight, it will never roll up and touch the cab of the truck. But if it's a little bit loose, then it definitely can roll up and contact the cab. So what we're going to do is see where it would be contacting, and we're going to apply some rubber bumpers where it would be hitting. So we've got this spot right here. We're going to do the one below it as well. First thing we want to do is clean off the slats with some alcohol. Gives a good surface to adhere to. Next, we're going to take our 2 rubber bumpers, peel the adhesive 3M off, and attach it to the slat. All right, there we go, we're protected. Well, that's all it takes to get this done. If you want to know more about the product, click the link in the description below. If you found this video to be helpful, give us a thumbs up. As always, if you have any questions, call the experts or visit us online.
My installation is almost done. I watched that video again as I was installing it, and I just have a tip that he didn't cover in there, and that's regarding fitting it correctly, because he doesn't say anything about how far forward or how far back really. So what I did is I screwed in those front thumb screws like he shows in the video, and then I rolled it all out. I found that I had it too far forward because there was a gap right here between the tonneau cover and the tailgate here. And I want to try to make this as watertight as possible. I know they aren't waterproof or anything. So what I did is I rolled it all the way out. I had my tailgate open. I pulled this cover, because those thumb screws are still loose, and I pulled it this way so it was about a ½ inch past this metal bracket right here. And then when I closed my power tailgate, it pushed it into place because there's a rubber seal. I don't know if you can see it. There's a rubber seal right here that's going to press up against your tailgate. And I wanted it to be as close and as tight as possible. So when I closed the tailgate here, it just pushed right up against that cover, right against that seal. And it did inch forward just a little bit. And I ended up with that. So it's just a little bit past this metal bracket right there. The tailgate closes, it opens perfectly. I did actually see another video where the guy was having issues with this rubbing on his tailgate. I don't appear to have that. And another tip I have, I'm gonna do these last. He did these in the video pretty early on, but I wanted to make sure I got the placement of these perfect so I can hold the rolled up tonneau cover just tight and nice. So I'm gonna install those now. But before I do, I'm gonna crawl into the bed now and tighten those thumb screws without rolling this up, without changing anything. And I'll tighten those down, and then I should be pretty much good to go. All right, so here is my second and I think final tip for you guys. I put this strap really close to being parallel, just straight with the edge of the cover here. I didn't want this strap being too far forward because then it's just gonna be kind of in the way, and you can easily do that. So if you don't know where this is gonna be when it's all rolled up, you could have easily put it over here, and then you'd have a strap that's up there. It's not the end of the world. I just wanted to try to have it as compact and close that way. I did the same thing over here. You can see it's really close to being parallel right with the edge there. And I'm glad I did it this way in the end and not in the beginning, because I actually had to move this over as well. So I had to loosen that up and move it forward because I actually had this where I wanted to put this one. So I think that's my only other suggestion. I haven't put on those bumper strips that he put on. They go right here. It seems like it stays pretty far. So I think you probably would have to mess up in order to have it touch your window. So I'm not sure if I'll put those on or not. Well, there it is, guys. Extremely easy installation. If I wasn't filming, I could have got it done a lot quicker, but it was only like half an hour. Really wasn't bad at all. I think it's going to be an awesome, awesome cover. I do actually see a couple, like this rubber sticking up a little bit right here, but I'm sure once we get a warmer day, it'll settle right down. But absolutely love this thing. I can't wait to review it and give it a try, use it and see how it goes. But again, thank you so much to Real Truck for making the process so smooth. Their price on their website, realtruck.com, was the cheapest that I could find anywhere. And they might even have some holiday specials coming up now that Christmas is going to be here in a few weeks. Either way, I'll have a link in the description below so you can use that link and go directly to it. It should be the same tonneau cover for any 2021 and up Ford with the same body that my Ford Lightning has. Thank you guys so much for watching. Feel free to do that typical YouTube stuff. Like, share, subscribe. Let's see you guys.